You're listening to the Trade Show Insights Podcast, Season 11, Episode 11. I'm your host and exhibit marketing strategist, Marlis Arnold, bringing you tools to improve your exhibit results. On today's episode, brought to you by the Exhibit Marketers Cafe, we're talking about ways that you can improve the clarity and readability of your trade show signage. You've been there. You're driving past a billboard on the highway, but it has tiny little type, or way too much, so you squint to read it as you zip past. Ultimately, you have no idea what it said. Major fail on the part of the advertiser and their designer. But it's not so different on the trade show floor. At show after show, I see displays that weren't designed to be readable, or at least that's the end result. So here are some tips for designing graphics and signage that stands out and gets noticed in a good way. First of all, fonts and font sizes matter. Go for readable over quirky. Trust me, I'm a true fontaholic. I have 600 plus and counting installed on my computer, but only a few of them are appropriate for exhibit signage. Sure, you want to avoid using generic fonts, Arial, Helvetica, Times, the ones that came pre-installed on your computer. But there are a lot more basic fonts out there to choose from these days. As a general rule, you want bolder fonts versus thinner ones, but you can sometimes mix different weights of the same font to create emphasis. In fact, that's another key point. Don't just mix a bunch of fonts. Pick a couple that contrast well with each other. And when it comes to large text, sans serif, the fonts without the little feet on each letter, tend to work best. Which, by the way, is also a good reason to avoid using italics. Next, contrast is key. Even if you've chosen a great font, it won't be readable if you put gray letters on a light blue background. You want high contrast. There's a reason why road signs are typically black letters on white backgrounds or white letters on a dark green or blue background. Monochromatic colors are those in the same scale of light to dark, take much closer examination to read. And you don't have that luxury as people are cruising by your booth. Also stay away from combining opposite colors, like green on red or blue on orange, because they tend to have a vibrating effect. Give words room to breathe. Don't crowd letters or lines of text too close together, and be sure you're not piling text on top of a busy background that competes or obscures your message. Simplicity equals maximum impact. Keep your words to a minimum and avoid using technobabble. Again, think about those highway signs. They use minimal words, making it simple to grasp the message as you pass by. If you do need to communicate multiple points, use a bullet list to make it easier to comprehend. This also goes back to giving the words room to breathe. Proof your design before it goes to print. Now this goes not only for the actual words, but also for legibility. One good way to test is to print out one word at full size with the chosen background color on an 8.5 by 11 inch sheet of paper. Then have someone hold that paper 10 to 20 feet away. Can you read it, or are you squinting? Another good rule of thumb I use is to look at my complete design as a 2-inch thumbnail on my computer. If it's readable that way, it's a pretty safe bet that it will scale up to be readable as a booth-size graphic. And finally, you can be creative without being cluttered or confusing. Stick with one primary idea per sign or graphic. Big and bold versus a hodgepodge collage wins every time. And always, always use high-resolution graphics and images so your words are as sharp as possible. So don't follow the lead of those less than readable billboards out there. Study those that are truly eye-catching and memorable. Be sure to go check out the show notes to watch a video from Lamar Outdoor Advertising that gives you some great creative examples. And oh, by the way, pay attention to how easy they are to read. Want more tips and tools for your exhibit marketing? Check out the free resources available from the Exhibit Marketers Cafe. Simply go to tradeshowinsights.com and click on Free Resources to discover toolkits, webinars, and more, including a link to sign up for the Trade Show Tips online monthly e-zine. Trade Show Insights is protected by the Creative Commons copyright license. You may feel free to share this recording with colleagues or embed it on your own blog as long as it's shared in its entirety and is not used for commercial purposes. To learn more, please see the link in the sidebar of the show notes at tradeshowinsights.com. Well, that's it for this episode of Trade Show Insights. Be sure to check out our show notes and archives at tradeshowinsights.com. You can also connect with me using the social media links or the contact page on the site. I'm Marlis Arnold. Thanks for listening, and be sure to join us next time for more tools to improve your exhibit results.